8-year-old bred by William O'Brien, this Irish sport horse.
Yeah, and it was interesting. I was chatting with Caroline, and she said that this horse was a sale horse with her for 2 years, and no one bought him because he was too small and he was too sharp, and people thought he wasn't fancy enough. And so she said, well, I'll just take over the ride. And here she is joining us in the 3-star here. So I think a few people might have missed out. And all of these horses that Caroline is riding are sourced by Kelly Hutchinson, and Caroline's just done a phenomenal job, not only as a top rider, but she's also managed to walk that line of being as for a young person, having a very good business model, has a lot of sales going 24/7, and everything that she does, and it is at the high performance level.
Yeah, a lovely frame this horse had, not quite going into the halt, but in the medium trot along the long diagonal, he was absolutely vertical in his frame and looked really super. She's had some amazing performances, and if anybody is interested in this horse, I'm not sure whether he's still for sale now as an 8-year-old, because she's had 4 runs at international level and never been out of the top 5. So somebody's missed out somewhere along the line. He was first, he won his first 2-star long, he was second in his 3-star short, first 3-star short, 5th in his second 3-star short, and 3rd in his 3rd 3-star short. So great results there, and he's only ever had faults in 1 of his international events in the show jumping, and never had a cross-country jumping fault.
Yeah, I don't think he's for sale anymore. You know, but you had said yesterday you're an avid ear watcher, and
yeah,
you can see how this horse's ears are floppy. It's one of the few horses that we've seen that its mouth has been happy and quiet, and it just looks like it's got the mind for the job. And these little nippy horses, honestly, sometimes they're really made for the job. They stay sounder longer. They're easier on themselves. They're easier to adjust. You know, and I can't imagine he's that small, because Caroline is quite tall. But look how relaxed. I think this one is creeping towards that into the 20s mark. I think.
would say, and I'm loving the floppy ears. You know, very relaxed. This 8-year-old, looking like he's been in the arena all his life.
Yeah,
Caroline looks like she's able to ride him every inch of the arena as well, with confidence.
Yes, absolutely. You know, she's able to work on the subtleties, right? You gotta, you gotta be normal before you can work on the nuances, and she's able to work on just letting the neck out a little bit. You can see her every now and then really pushing her arms forward and encouraging him to, you know, not fall. He's finding the job so easy, he's kind of falling asleep. So she's encouraging him to look out and around and get his neck nice and long. Here we have these canter walk transitions. That's one of the best ones we've seen. She came down accurately, and the horse kept the forward idea. There wasn't a stop-start.
But you also see the straightness from the turn to the straight, and then straight out, and straight again. That was really nicely done. He was super in the up. And this has got to be lovely, because he just looks so relaxed.
And this is a horse that, if I was judging it as it came in the arena, I thought this is interesting. But as a judge, my marks would be getting higher and higher and higher, you know, as if and trending in that direction, because there's just so much to like here. But I'm excited to see what our judges think.
Please don't make a mistake now at the end of this test, because we've been bigging you up the whole way. Tolan King, good boy. I mean, super talent for an 8-year-old. I mean, what a mistake somebody made in not wanting to buy this horse.
But there's so many stories like that. You know, you think about it. You know, I think back.
That give us our very first sub-30 test.
And she looks so thrilled. And again, this is one that you kind of go, I'd like to sit and ride on that horse. You know, you could ride that horse as first in your day to put a smile on your face, or at the end of your day to give you the energy to keep going.
Yeah. He'd certainly be one, wouldn't he, that would excite you to get up in the morning or be happy to go to bed on.
Yeah, exactly.
Either way, just a nice horse and a really rideable temperament, a really rideable brain, and she's got a very lovely way of riding him. And I think she's got a lovely way of riding her horses. That's the thing. And he really relishes that. Well, joining us on course is Caroline Pamuchki. She rides HSH Tolan King on a dressage 29.0. One of those that could go amongst that leaderboard.
And she's already been out once. She knows that she can get the time. She knows how the complexes feel. Again, it is going to be a bit of an edge for her, having multiple rides before she heads out on the leader of this track. But again, a super horse in HSH Tolan King. A little horse that...
Show off.
It's just reading.
Just reading. All right.
Caroline, a very, very busy lady this weekend, having already won the 4-year-old classes. 3 horses in this division. She is setting Team USA on fire, and she will head down to the Pan American Games, leaving from here on Sunday. Horses left out of Miami yesterday, well on their way to represent Team USA.
Cool.
And that is, we've seen that a few times, and that is why Ian moved that fence back a bit, because the horse is just not sure what to focus on coming out of there. Yes, and again, it's really interesting how he set these rails up, because again, they're on the frangible device. They have the second jump there, which the riders need to set the line up so they go around. But here we have Caroline coming around too. We've got the big table here, and then we line up for our sunken road.
I'd be interested to see where she goes, because if you've been watching HSH Tolan King jump, he's been a little bit spooky so far, and whether she'll go direct here, I mean, she's nothing but brave, or whether she'll go long. Now she's setting up for the quick way, of course, and she'll just give him a little bit of a steady run through here. Let him find his feet. Very brave. One stride. Oh, as easy as anything.
You know what's interesting is that she had said, you know, when we commentated on this horse yesterday in the dressage, she said the horse was in her yard for 2 years, not bought because it wasn't fancy enough and it was a bit sharp. And in the dressage, you didn't see that sharpness. The horse has been so well trained, so well schooled, but you're seeing it out here and how careful and sharp it is around the track.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, well, here comes Caroline Pamuchku, beautifully over that new wave. Now the rail, ditch and arrowheads, and as good as any we've seen. This is such a good horse. I mean, what a miss, but what a catch it has been, because Caroline, as you said, she advertised this horse, nobody wanted him, and I don't think he's for sale now. She might sell some shares, that's about it.
And great shot there. You know, that walking that jump, there's a really sharp angle down to a big brush, and you can jump the first jump a little straighter as we have Caroline up top at this stunning water. And again, it's somewhere I'd advise you to go watch from. The flag comes down, but that will mean nothing.
She held for the 3, got the 3, then you have a little bit more control coming down the bank. And with a young horse, you know, she wants to give this horse the experience. And when you've got a horse like this, I mean, I say young, 8, he is very young, and to actually steer him through like that, give him the confidence. I mean, look at him pulling down here. Caroline's having to say, come on, whoa!
And Caroline's a tall, strong girl, so, you know, and a lot of this is just the horse's keenness. You know, he's just ready to go. It doesn't necessarily look like he's necessarily strong in the mouth. He's just keen to go. And Caroline has a spectacular eye for a fence. And when we say eye for a fence, just seeing a good point of takeoff far away. You know, it's kind of like for a person as I always compare it to the moving sidewalks in the airport. You know, like if you kind of stutter and overthink it on the way out, or you can just smoothly step off with all your luggage. And Caroline has a great eye for a fence, so she can really place these horses in a space that is comfortable for them to leave the ground from.
It's funny, isn't it? I always try and see a stride to the end of those runways.
I do too. I try and move up my distance.
So do I. I know it's sad, isn't it? I even try and do that to cracks in the road, and you know, if they're on the sidewalk, I try and do exactly the same. Try and see a stride. The off-the-track Thoroughbred Syndicate, 40.5 was their dressage. Back to Caroline Pamuchku and the lovely HSH Tolan King. They've got one fence left to jump, 12 seconds on the clock. It's going to be a good round for her. She's just making sure she gets there and jumps the last. It was a bit of a grapple fight to the final fence, and he's still pulling. 3 seconds inside the time. They could go around again.
Yes. And Caroline bases in Ocala in the winter and is up in this area for the rest of the year. And it is such a fabulous place to get horses fit. He wants to go.
He's still pulling. He's Irish sport horse. Only 8. And they start on their dressage score of 29.0. Going out of order in third place.
I really enjoyed watching this horse yesterday. I'll say of the three that Caroline bolted around the cross country with yesterday, this one was probably my favorite to watch, and she did a masterful job. She's in here for the second time today. She knows how the track rides. She had one pole on an earlier horse, hoping for a clear.
Oh, that's your fault.
I did it. I'm the problem, it's me.
I'm the problem, it's me. So that takes her on to 33.0. And at the moment, drops her down 9 places.
Wow,
Yeah.
what
That's how
a
expensive
disappointment.
one pole
Yes,
is.
unbelievable. It's a little deep to the triple bar there. You know, these are young horses, and it was a big ask yesterday. And, you know, all of Caroline's horses are goers. You know, she wants a horse that's taking her to the fences. She wants a horse that's forward. But we saw with both of her horses that that took them out of their shape a little bit. They're coming in here still ready to run. They look fit. They look strong. They look great. But still almost that speed working against their shape just a smidge. Caroline is such a balanced rider, so brilliant, and she's going to come back with these horses as a super threat. You're almost going, oh no, now she's had one issue. She's going to come back 10 times as strong next year.
Just has that.